There are two methods we can use to solve this. Welcome to my channel. Let's get straight to the point. Yes, you're asked to solve for x in this equation. First of all, there are two ways we can solve this. We either manipulate the left hand side or we manipulate the right hand side. So let's start with the left hand side. The left hand side says that 1 plus 1 over x raised to the power of x plus 1, okay, is equal to this. Now, in the manipulation, we are going to try to get something here, and whatever we got here should be exactly what will be here, all right? So that when we compare it with this, since this and this are the same, we can now pick the solution from there. See how we are going to do it. First of all, let's just solve what we have inside the bracket. If we solve it, 1 plus 1 over x is same thing as what? X over x, right? Plus 1 over x, okay? Raised to the power of x plus 1. Now, this is the same thing as x plus 1, right? X plus 1 divided by what? X raised to the power of x plus 1. Okay, so at this point, remember what I said. We actually want it, whatever we are going to get here should look like what we have here, okay? So how do we go about it? First of all, we have x plus 1 here. Let's bring this x plus 1 down here so that we have x plus 1, just like 23 and 23. But something is going to happen when we do that, and we're not going to neglect that, okay? Okay, what is going to happen? If we bring this down, that means we are taking the inverse of this. So inverse of this now, that means if we now write this to be equal to x plus 1 over what? Sorry, x over x plus 1 is going to be the inverse of what we have, right? So we are going to raise it to the power of -1. Yeah, permit me to write this well. It's because of my position. So like I said, we are going to take the inverse of this. So we are going to now write x over x plus 1 raised to the power of -1, okay? So everything now is raised to the power of what? X plus 1. Okay, now you see what happened there. We have introduced a negative sign here. So what do? We don't have any other option but to use the power rule that states that a to the power of m multiplied by n is equal to a to the power of m times n, okay? So we are going to multiply -1 by what we have outside the bracket. Then that means that we are going to have that this is equal to x divided by x plus 1, all right, raised to the power of -1 times this, which is minus x plus 1. Okay, now recall what we said, that we should make everything we have here to look like what we have here, okay? And this is not looking like that. So what do? Let's try to get something, a negative sign under here. Since this has negative sign already, that means whatever we need to have here, just like they are identical, must have a negative sign as well. Then first, let's solve what we have on the board. In this bracket, we have x over x plus 1. Let's solve it. Now, when x is divided by x plus 1, let's do that using the long division method. So we have x plus 1 is dividing what? X. Okay, so x is being divided by x plus 1. So to do that, this x is same thing as x plus 0, right? Yeah. So when x divides x, you'll have 1. 1 times x will give us x, and 1 times 1 will give us what? Plus 1. Then we subtract. X minus x is 0. Now 0 minus 1 is -1. So this means that when x is divided by x plus 1, we are going to have 1 remainder -1. So we can now say that x over x plus 1, all right, is the same thing as this one, all right, which is the quotient that we got, plus the remainder, which is minus what? 1 over what? X plus 1, which is the divisor. That means that we can replace this, or everything we have here, with 1 plus -1 over x plus 1. Okay, so we are going to write this whole place as what? X divided by x plus 1. Oh, I'm repeating the same thing. Sorry. So we are going to replace this with this. That is 1 plus minus 1 over x plus 1, which can be written as 1 over minus x plus 1. All right? Yes. Everything raised to the power of minus x plus 1. Okay, are you seeing anything? Yes, now we have the same thing here, the same thing here, just like we have here, and we have 1 here and 1 here, just like we have here. So we are going to now compare. So let's compare. So we can now replace the whole of this with this, right? So we have that 1 plus 1 over minus x plus 1, okay, raised to the power of minus x plus 1 is equal to this, which is what? 1 plus 1 over 23. 1 plus 1 over 23 raised to the power of 23. Now, by comparison, we can see that minus bracket x plus 1 is equal to 23. The same thing here, okay? So, by comparison, minus bracket x plus 1 is equal to 23. Now, let's open this bracket, or let's divide both sides by minus 1. Okay, divided by minus 1 divided by minus 1. This, we can see this, we are left with x plus 1, okay, is equal to minus 23. So that means that our x is equal to what? Minus 23 plus 1 will cross to become minus 1. So our x is minus 24. That is the first method. So we are going to solve the second method, like I said. But before that, if this is the first time you are tuning in, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and on your notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. And please like, comment, and share. All right, thank you so much. So we are done with the first method, and we got that x is equal to minus 24. Now let's solve for the second. Let's solve with the second method. Okay. Now, using the second method, like I said, we are going to manipulate now the right hand side of the equation. So let's do that. Now, the right hand side of the equation is that 1 plus 1 over 23 raised to the power of 23. Okay, now what do we do here? Like I said, because we are now manipulating this, we would like to make it to look like this, the way this is looking. Okay, so first of all, let's solve what we have inside the bracket. So 1 plus 1 over 23, same thing as what? 23 over 23 plus 1 over 23 raised to the power of 23. Now 23 plus 1 will give us 24 over what? 23, okay, raised to the power of 23. All right, now this is equal to, recall what I said, we want it to look like this. Notice that this is carrying a plus sign when we and this is not carrying anything, so this and this, they don't even look like, yeah. So how do we introduce a plus sign here? Let's just forget it first and try to manipulate what we have inside the bracket. So it means that whatever we are going to have here is going to be, let's just take the inverse of what we have in the bracket. So if we take the inverse like we did in the other one, we are going to have 23 over 24 raised to the power of minus 1, okay, then everything raised to the power of 23 again. So using the power rule, we are going to multiply this by this, right? So we'll now have 23 over 24 raised to the power of minus 23. Okay, so this is what we have now. So what do we do to this place to make it look like this? Of course, there is 1 plus here, and here we don't have any 1 plus, and there is a way to introduce that. Let's rewrite 23 as 24 minus 1. Okay, so let's rewrite 23 as 24 minus 1 so that we have a whole number. We have whole number here and 1 as our part of our fraction. So to do that, we will now rewrite this as what? 24 minus 1 divided by 24, okay, is equal to raised to the power of minus 23. Now this bracket can be written as 24 over 24 minus 1 over 24 raised to the power of minus 23. Okay, all right. So we have 24 divided by 24 will now give us 1 minus 1 over 24. Okay, everything raised to the power of minus 23. So when you compare this and this, notice that they are still not the same. The inside seems to be okay now, but we have x plus something here. So we need to manipulate this minus 23 to get x plus something. All right. Now, how can we write this to still get minus 23 when we add 1 to it? The only way we can do this is, we know that minus 24 plus 1 will still give us this minus 23. Okay, so we are going to replace this minus 23 with minus 24 plus 1. So this is what we are going to write now. 1 minus 1 over 24 raised to the power of minus 24 plus 1. Okay, but notice that in this place we have positive sign here, but this place is minus, right? But we can still rewrite this as what? 1 plus what? 1 over minus 24. Yes, 1 plus 1 over minus 24 raised to the power of minus 24 plus 1. Jackpot. Yes, because look at this and look at what we have this place. Notice that we have this and this, they look the same. This and this, they look the same. So let's compare. By comparison now, we have that this should be equal to that, this, right? So we have that 1 plus 1 over x raised to the power of x plus 1 is equal to this. 1 plus 1 over minus 24, 1 over minus 24 raised to the power of minus 24 plus 1. So by comparison, our x is equal to minus 24, x is equal to minus 24. So we can write that our x is equal to minus 24. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day. Bye.